What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing this evening? It is November 9th, Thursday, and I'm in Jasper, Tennessee at this Loves Off 24. You know, the one that has a long walkway getting into the store. Man, not only that, it has some pretty good steep steps. But anyways, guys, hope everybody's doing well. It is Thursday, November 9th. Man, first of all, guys, let me say this real quick before I go any further. Let me get a shout out to one of my buddies. He has a rideshare channel on YouTube called Chicago Rideshare Master. Okay, I've been following him for quite some time now, and his son was involved in a bicycle vehicle accident yesterday morning. Okay, his son is 16 years old, rides his bike to school, and apparently he was hit by a car. Hector did a update status this morning, and everything turned out to be fine. Okay, well, not fine. No broken bones, no nothing, just some bruises and whatnot. But even so, man, that can be very traumatic to a kid. A 16-year-old kid, as well as to a parent, knowing that your son was involved or your child was involved in the accident. So Hector, if you're watching this video, man, my prayers and thoughts still go out to you and your family. But yeah, if you want to know anything about rideshare, Uber and Lyft, check him out, man. Chicago Rideshare Master. Okay, his videos are pretty lengthy. That's because he takes you out throughout his night with you, or along with him, and shows you all his numbers and whatnot. So none of his numbers are fabricated or anything like that. But yeah, has an awesome channel. Like I said, it's called Chicago Rideshare Master. His name is Hector. Now, guys, recall the other day, guys, I made that video. I was so looking forward to this whole week. Okay. Not only with the opportunity of making some good numbers, but having the opportunity to see my daughter, as well as in the weekend hanging out with my son. When it rains, it pours, guys. When it rains, it pours. Now, it didn't all go to shit, okay? Just some of it. Now, picked up a load going to Arcula, Florida, all right? However you want to pronounce it. And then I was going to go pick up a load in Orlando, Florida, taking it over to Cartersville, Georgia. And then from Cartersville, Georgia, I was going to go over to Fayetteville, Tennessee. From Fayetteville, Tennessee, going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina. From Charlotte, North Carolina, I was going to go to Chester, South Carolina. From Chester, South Carolina, I was going to go over to Selma, Texas to end my week. Nope. I was able to go into Orlando. I was able to see my daughter, thank God. Enjoyed every single bit of it. Okay, we hung out for about a good hour, and then from there we said our goodbyes, and then I headed over to the Frito-Lay in I forgot what it's called, Hills Park, Park Hills, whatever, basically the north side of Orlando. All right, get there, give them my reference number. Hold on, that's my wife's, because she was asking me a question earlier. They're at an adult store, guys. They're at an adult store. My wife and some of her friends from work and whatnot. Mainly because this weekend they're giving my my sister-in-law, which is her younger sister, a bachelorette party. It's all girls. They're gonna hang out at some one of her friends' beach house over the weekend and just hang out and whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they're getting some toys and gag gifts and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah. Well, I get to the place in Orlando after seeing my daughter. Okay. Now, recall, this load was just paying crap. Okay, it was paying $617 from Orlando, Florida, over to Cartersville, Georgia. Okay. The reason why I took it was because the deadhead from Arcula, Florida, over to Orlando was only an hour and a half. Okay, and we all know nothing comes out of Florida. Okay, so I was blessed to get that load. Not only that, I was blessed to even get a load that was going to give me a chance to see my daughter. Well, I was able to see my daughter. I'm thankful for that, guys. Awesome time with my daughter. Okay, missed her. All right, a little teary-eyed there at the end, but it's expected. It's my baby girl. Okay. Well, I get to the facility, and this load had an open window from midnight to midnight. I get there 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The guy's like, "Oh, this load is only like 10% ready." I'm like, "All right, so what's next?" He's like, "Well, this load's not going to be ready till late tonight or early tomorrow morning." He goes, "I don't know if you want to stay or wait for it." I'm like, "No, I can't stay and wait for it because I have other loads already locked up, and it's going to go ahead and put me behind on those loads." He's like, "Well, then you need to call your dispatcher." Call my dispatcher, my BOA. Now, I don't talk to my BOA that very often, okay? At all, if any. All right? So I called them and I told them the situation. I go, "Hey," I said, "I'm here at the Orlando Frito-Lay place, and they're telling me that the load is 10% ready, and that he's even thinking that it's going to be ready either late tonight or early in the morning. And he's giving me the option to either take it or leave it." Well, I'm leaving it because, one, this load doesn't pay that much to risk the other loads, as well as I just don't want it then. I might as well just go ahead and now I can't find another load because the chances of finding a load that's even going to fit in that little time frame, because remember guys, I'm running on recaps. So to even find a load close that's going to the same vicinity was going to be diamond in the rough. So I wasn't even going to chance it. All right. Well, the lady on the phone, my BOA assistant or whatever you want to call it, was telling me, he's like, "Well, hold on, let me call them, see if they have something that's probably going in the same area. If not, then second option is just jet over to the load that you're picking up in Fayetteville." Okay. Was on hold for about a good 30-45 minutes. She comes back on the line and tells me, "Nope, there's nothing, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to wait, so it's up to you." And I was like, "Well, I might as well just go ahead and start heading towards my pickup in Fayetteville." 9 hours dead hit. All right. So I get down halfway down the road, not even halfway down the road. I get, good 3 hour down the road and stop for the night. All right. This morning, get up early in the morning, like around 5 o'clock in the morning, start heading towards my my pickup, right? I have nothing in the box, right? So I'm just flying down the road. 4 hours down the road, I get an alert on my tablet. Now, some alerts or some messages, you can go ahead and push the button and it'll audio read it to you. Some other ones you can't. You're just gonna have to pull over, let the tablet unlock itself when you come to a complete stop, and then you're gonna be able to read it. Well, it wasn't allowing me to audio play it, so I had to pull over, stop, and hear it. Well, it's asking me what is my ETA for my pickup and my delivery for the last load that I'm getting, that I'm picking up in Chester, South Carolina, taking it over to Selma, Texas, which is the one that I was going to give me time to hang out with my son over the weekend. Right? And this one had a pickup window from 7 o'clock in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon. Okay? And then it had a scheduled live unload on Monday at 10 o'clock. So I told them, well, my ETA is going to probably be like around 11 o'clock tomorrow, Friday. But my delivery is going to be on time, all right? Because I have the whole weekend to drop it off or to take it. Send it off I go. About 45 minutes down the road, I get a response. Not only did I get a response, I get a message saying that I was taking off that load. I'm like, what the hell? So obviously I pull over, and it says if I want to know why, to call my BOA. Well, obviously I want to know why. What the hell's going on? Okay, because this was the load that was going to end my week with good numbers, as well as give me the chance to see my son, hang out with him on Sunday, and then drop it off on Monday morning, and then also have a chance to go ahead and get a load out for one more day and then finish off my numbers pretty good. Call my BOA. Now, I hardly ever talk to my BOA guys. whoever's come up with the concept that they micromanage you here, whatever you want to call it, that's probably going to be on the company side. But as the IO or IC, whatever you want to call, what we are, lease operators, you really don't talk to your BOA guys unless something pops up or whatever you want to call it. But you really don't talk. Well, at least I haven't. Okay. So I call them and I'm like, hey, I said I just got a message saying that I was taking off a load, and I want to know why. Well, apparently this load coming out of Chester, it was a load of fixtures. Okay, it was a load of fixtures. Apparently this load was entered in the system wrong. It wasn't supposed to have an open window. It wasn't supposed to have a 7 o'clock to 4:30. It was supposed to have an 8 o'clock in the morning appointment live load. Well, I already told them that I was going to be there at 11 because that's the time I was projecting. Because from Charlotte, North Carolina to Chester, South Carolina, it was only like 30 minutes. All right. So I was like, yeah, man, no problem. Nope. They were saying that it was entered in the system incorrect. That it had a 8 o'clock schedule appointment of a live load. If I would have known that, I would have never scheduled that. Okay. I would have looked at something else. Okay. And then the idea of me hanging out with my son would have never come across because the opportunity would have never been there. So I was like, all right, well, there's nothing I can do. Okay, there's nothing I can do. So now I have lost a load that I picked up, that I was supposed to pick up in Orlando, and I'm deadheading 9 hours to go pick up the load that I have with me now because I already picked it up earlier. And now I have to find another load that's going to go ahead and take the place of the load that I was picking up tomorrow and taking it over the weekend to drop off outside San Antonio on Monday. And I even asked my friend Kendall, all right? He's been a part of Schneider for a while. He has a YouTube channel called Life with KO. I was like, hey man, has this ever happened to you before? That just you were taking off a load, for this particular reason, that it was entered in the system incorrect, that it was nothing that you could have done. He's like, yeah, man. He goes, that's happened to me probably twice, since I've been a part of Schneider, that we're just gonna have to bite the bullet. So luckily I was able to find a load, okay, picking up in Four Oaks, North Carolina, okay. Now remember, that load was going to be like 7,000 pounds going from Chester, South Carolina to Selma, Texas. 7,000 pounds, paying $1,700. All right, very light load, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, like Hector says. All right, was going to get great fuel mileage. Well, I ended up getting this load from Four Oaks, North Carolina. Okay, this one has a window. Actually, it has a 1300 to midnight. All right, so this was a little bit further out. Okay, it's like 2.5 hours of deadhead from Charlotte, North Carolina over to Four Oaks. All right, and it drops off on Sunday. This one's paying $1,400. All right, and it only weighs like around 20,000 pounds. Still a light load, guys. Still a light load, but I'm gonna be able to drop it off on a Sunday. All right, in forgot what it's called, but it's right outside Memphis. All right, so there's a load that I'm looking at, or there's a couple of loads I'm looking at that's coming out of Memphis that's dropping off on Monday. I think it's right outside Memphis, and it's going to Baton Rouge for Monday, and then I'll be able to get another load on Monday. So yes, I lost the load that was coming out of Orlando, and yes, I was taking off the load that I was coming out of Chester going to Selma, but I still have an opportunity. Now remember, I have to be careful because I'm running on recaps, but I still have an opportunity to finish out my week somewhat good. But now I have to tell my son, because I told him yesterday, okay, because he saw the pictures that my daughter had posted, hey, you went to go see Samara? I'm like, yeah, and I told him, like, hey, we're gonna hang out Sunday. You know, he's like, oh, we are? Cool. You know, and I told myself I'm gonna be able to get into San Antonio probably late Saturday night, if not early Sunday morning. You can run by and pick me up. You know, there is a drop lot yard outside San Antonio. It's in Converse, which is pretty close actually to our cousin's house. Okay, except they're just big Cowboys fans. But yeah, I told my son, you know, you come pick me up. We can go over to Henry's house. You know, probably even Sandra's, hang out there. You know, they always cook barbecue on Sundays. You know, but yeah, now I'm gonna have to call my son and say, you know what, scratch that idea, man. Scratch that idea. So, you know, I was blessed to see my daughter yesterday. You know, I haven't seen her since July. But now I have to call my son and tell him that, you know, it's not going to happen, you know. Now I'm going to see him the week after, because my wife's uncle, they're throwing him a 75th birthday party at the ranch. Man, you know, I'm looking forward to this party, man. You know, he's a pretty cool guy. You know, he's a veteran, but he's one of those guys to where he's never gonna grow old. he's never gonna grow old. He's a crazy heart guy. You know, but yeah, they're throwing him a 75th birthday party. You know, at his ranch. So. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to call my son here shortly and just let him know, you know, hey, they took that off of me, and there's something I could have done about it, you know. But yeah, man, you know, like I said, you know, I don't know, you know, things have been going pretty good so far, you know, here at Schneider, you know, but you know, there's always gonna be a but, you know, doesn't matter what industry you're in. Okay, all you do is try to stay forward and try to provide for your family. Yeah, there are hiccups in life, you know, and sometimes you're just gonna have to take the bumps and bruises along with them. Okay, it is what it is, guys. You know, I hate to use a sad cliche. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, you just hopefully, you know, made a positive impression for that one moment. Okay, today was finding a load that was taken off me, and I found a replacement. All right, but the only downside to that is it's not going to give me an opportunity to hang out with my son. All right, now I'll see my son a couple of times since he's gone to school. All right, because he lives so close to Houston. You know, but I guess I would have been more bummed out if the load that was going into Florida was taken off me, because then, you know, it would have been another time that I was so close to my daughter, and then I wasn't going to be able to see her. So luckily that fell into place. You know, I'm definitely not going to take that away from you know, the week. But yeah, man, you know, I'm gonna end this video here. You know, once again, you know, shout out to my buddy Hector and his family out there, man. You know, prayers and thoughts go out to you and your son and your family, you know. And also, guys, you know, doesn't matter if you're dragging hoses, throwing straps, bumping docks, pulling tarps. Please be careful out there, guys. You know, like I said in the past, there are areas in this country that the weather is ugly. Okay, so by all means, man, if you don't feel comfortable to continue, pull over, shut it down for the night, pick up where you left off. All right, go ahead and end this video, guys. Here, you guys be careful, and God bless.